Okay, guys, it's been a few days since we've taken a look at the price action of Vechain's VET token. So we're going to spend a little bit of time today just taking a look at the price action with what has been going on most recently and where we think the price is likely to go next. As I get into the video, smash that like button, guys. I really do appreciate that. If you're new, why don't you just consider subscribing? And in doing so, you'll stay up to date with all the content that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on here with the VET token. We'll start things off by taking a look at this most recent price action. We did drop down lower than the 3.5 cent swing low that we saw before, but we haven't actually had a close position below it. But we did see was a wick come down to the 3.3 cent area. This is actually right inside the zone that we were talking about in the previous video, between 3.131 and 3.435, but it didn't come down as deep as our 2.940 to 3.226, and it was this overlap between the 3.1 and the 3.2 that we thought the most probable area for Vechain's price action to drop down towards. Okay, so it's interesting that we haven't quite hit that area. We kind of hit the higher range, but not the lower range. And we did say somewhere between 2.9 and 3.435. Okay, so we found ourselves kind of in the range, but not quite where we were expecting. You can see that the previous area of support that we had marked out at 3.807 to the 3.950 has turned into resistance, most specifically today's price coming up into that range, tapping into a high of 3.869. So what's going on? Well, support for the price action at the moment is above the 200-day exponential moving average, coming in at 3.499 cent. You can see that we've wicked down lower than the 200 EMA, but we stayed above the EMA from a closure point of view, remaining in a bullish structure for Vechain's VET token. We'll talk more about that when we take a look at smart money concepts. We can also see here that the blue line of the 50 exponential moving average is also resistance, along with the 50 SMA, the yellow line coming through the price chart here. So the 50 SMA, the yellow line, is at 4.138, and the 50 EMA, the blue line, is at 4.046. So we know that the price is actually just kind of getting itself wedged up between these two areas. Now, what we're looking for here is we're looking for a reversal in an ideal world. I don't think we're necessarily there just yet, so we want to be a little bit open-minded to this. Let's take a look at the momentum. On our daily time frame, momentum is shifting to the upside and is close towards the overbought area, is above the mid-level, and is currently rocking a 57.88 on the stochastic RSI. Now, that is good, bad, it's somewhere in the middle, to be honest with you. It means that we might see price action continue and run to the upside towards its overbought range, and then we'll see the reversal from there. But we should be open-minded about the 8-hour and 4-hour charts because they are already overbought, so expect some volatility as we continue to try to push a little bit higher here for the Vechain's VET token. If we take the stochastics off and throw in the RSI and the divergence indicator, we can see here that RSI is still lower than the 50 level, indicating that the macro view on the relative strength index and the trend is still unfortunately bearish at the moment. So it's a little bit concerning, but nothing too major. We are still trying to push higher than 50, and if we can get a close position on the RSI higher than the 50 level, that will show that there's more bullish momentum than bearish momentum. So want to keep an eye on that. From a MACD point of view, things are about to cross more positively. We see that on the histogram here with the potential for this to turn green, and we're looking for a bullish cross on the moving averages as well. So from a MACD point of view, actually, we might start to see a bit more of a push to the upside, but I don't think it's going to be long-lived. Let's go ahead and bring up the price action once again. Let me just clear this off and basically just come into the price action here and take a look at the price action through smart money concepts. Smart money concept shows us with a bearish pattern, with a change of characterization into a bearish structure, with a break of structure to confirm that state of play. But the positive news and the good news is that these are dashed lines coming through here, indicating that these are only really important to the smaller time frame and are not a part of the bigger, clearer picture to the upside. So from a smart money concepts point of view, it's not too bad. But we can see that if there is going to be an upward move here, not only is the 50 exponential moving average and the 50 simple moving average going to be resistance, but we also see that equilibrium is right there as well. This is giving us high probability of rejection for this price move upwards, and we're likely to see a bit more of a move to the downside. The move to the downside from smart money concepts, again, still lines up with the idea that we go down into that deeper range as we start to think about where our fair value gaps sit, which is this green area coming through the chart just here. The fair value gap shows us with a place in the price action where liquidity was missing. And it's that liquidity that is missing that price action typically likes to go back down and fill out from a smart money concepts point of view. Essentially, it shows you that this area right here and this area that's already being grabbed are areas where there wasn't a lot of liquidity, meaning that price just pushed all the way through them. And when that happens, price likes to respect it and come back down. It's not a guarantee, but it's something that we see from time to time. And we should acknowledge that from smart money concepts point of view, those areas, those gaps like to get filled out. This means that we are likely to see this continued push to the downside. Let's go ahead and turn off smart money concepts and start actually reflecting on what Elliott wave theory tells us. Elliott wave theory tells us that we are in the range where we were expecting price to go to, as in we have this 3-wave drop right here, and it's very much exactly what we were thinking, right in here between 3.1 and 3.4 cent. However, when we zoom out, we can actually see it's a part of a much bigger 3-wave pattern. Although can be complete here, we are targeting out slightly deeper, more towards 2.9 and 3.2 cent. So on the daily time frame, it still looks to me like we should be expecting and should be kind of preparing for a bit more of a push to the downside before we get into that next big run for Vechain to the upside. Now, from a weekly standpoint, we can see that this has a lot of wicks to it, showing that there is actually a bit of a mixed opinion on the market for Vechain's token. We have a lot of buying pressure and a lot of selling pressure, but we do have consistency here in terms of lower highs and lower lows. This shows us with a lot of overlap and a very temporary move to the downside, in my opinion. We are looking at moving down towards the 50 exponential weekly average and the 200 exponential weekly average. These are the areas of support that happen to fall in line with the 2.940 and 3.226. This means that this is where we're likely to find support and we're likely to find reversal. We're very close to it. We've almost achieved it. We're just not there yet, in my opinion. The next move to the upside will be very, very powerful. If we do manage to move down towards the 3.1, then we are, of course, talking about a surge up towards 13 cent for Vechain. This is the same price target as we had in the previous video, and not a lot has really changed from there. We obviously are, of course, in that bearish pattern with the higher or the lower highs and the lower lows. And of course, we're just heading down towards the 200 EMA on the weekly time frame, the 50 EMA on the weekly time frame. That's where I think we'll find support, and that is where we now see the next surge up towards 13 to 18 cent for Vechain, which will be a very nice ride if you were accumulating this during the bear market like Chris, myself, and the CC community. And of course, guys, if you haven't done so already, you should check out the free Discord, and the link for that is in the description down below. I don't think you'll regret by what you find down there. I think it's a fantastic community that will really help you in kind of a very inclusive community. It's well worth checking out, and as I said, it is completely free. If you haven't done so already, guys, I do urge you to check out this video right here where we're discussing what's going on with the XRP price action.